This gaming PC is awesome. Well, half of it's awesome if all you care about is price to performance. If you only care about price to performance because that's all you watch and you rage bait in the comments all the time if anyone doesn't agree with you, then you probably won't like this video. But the CPU and GPU combo we chose here, top tier elite price to performance. But as you can see, it's white, it's got some expensive parts. But the goal of this video is not to show you great price to performance, it's to show you how to build an awesome gaming PC. So I'm gonna go through all the parts, tell you some other options that you could build around this CPU and GPU combo, but the reason I use these parts is because Corsair sent them out to me. They didn't send out all the parts, which I'll talk about that later because we had some beef a little bit, but nothing too crazy, like there's no drama, just, you know, you'll see it. Let's go ahead and get started. First up, let's talk about the CPU. The CPU is the Ryzen 7 7800X3D. At the time I'm recording this, you can find the 7800X3D anywhere from like $350 to $370, even cheaper if you are one of the 3 people that live close to a micro center. But if you're not, you know, the 7800X3D is perfectly fine. Sure, you can go lower. You could go with like a 9700X or a 7700X. Either one of those would be also great pairings with the GPU that we're going to use later in this video. But I chose the 7800X3D because it is still $70 to $100 cheaper than what I can get the 9800X3D for, so there's no point in getting the 9800X3D because it's just not worth an extra $100 in my opinion. But you are going to need an AM5 motherboard. And for that, we actually chose a really awesome option. Our friends over at ASUS were nice enough to send this over for a TikTok video. And at the time of recording, this motherboard is around $189. It's right at $190, but it's under $200. Even though it's a B850 motherboard, it has a ton of really awesome features. You get Wi-Fi 7, you get a 2.5 gigabit LAN, great heat sinks, and some solid USB ports on the back. It's more than enough for gaming with a 7800X3D. Yes, there are cheaper motherboard options. You could go with the B650 chipset if you would like. I don't personally like the 650 chipset for the 7800X3D just because I had issues with the 650 version of this Asus board with USB ports. Like if I plug too many USB ports into it, it became an issue, but it's been user error on my part. But you can get the 650. If you're not gonna plug in a ton of USBs, it won't really matter. Totally up to you. You could also go micro ATX to save money. This is a full ATX PC case that we'll talk about in a minute, but that's another way you could save money in that aspect. Now, moving on to the really expensive parts of this build, RAM and SSD. Now, I had a deal worked out with Corsair that I was supposed to get their RAM and the SSD, and we have been talking about this build since like the summer, June or July, but I couldn't get them to send me the parts. And then the whole apocalypse happened with RAM and SSDs, and they basically said there's no way they can send it to me, so I had to source those myself. So the RAM and SSD don't come from Corsair, and depending on when you're watching this, as I've already said, a lot of this is going to be depending on when you're watching this. I just used a Team Group 32 gigabyte kit that I found on Amazon. It's like $250. Honestly, I got really lucky that I found it that cheap because now it's like $300 or $350 for 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. Honestly though, if you can just find one 16 gig stick of DDR5, you're doing really good, and that's enough for gaming, so it's totally up to you. But if you got the money, get 32 gigs, cool. We don't know when the prices are going to be normal again. Same thing with the SSD. I actually had this 2 terabyte SSD laying around. It was in an old build because I think this is going to be my new test bench for higher end GPUs. I haven't decided if this one or the video that I'm going to be uploading after this one also has a 7800X3D. It's cooler. I like it, so make sure you're subscribed for that. But either way, this one has a 2 terabyte or 1 terabyte SSD. Actually, I think it's a 1 terabyte silicon power in this one, the 2 terabytes in the other PC. You know, sometimes I get confused, but I'm trying to be more real with you guys because I want you guys to just understand that, like, a lot of this stuff, like, I just want to give you cool PC builds. I mean, that's all I want you to see, cool PC builds. I want you to see what you can do because I'm tired of just seeing the same old stuff over and over and over and over again on YouTube. That's my personal opinion, so I'm trying some different stuff. Now, moving on to the power supply, Corsair did send out their 1000 watt PSU. It is the Shift power supply. Now, this power supply is cool because the ports plug in on the side of the power supply, which is kind of neat. And I mean, it's a nice touch. Not every case is really built for that though, so you just need to be careful about what case you pick. Obviously, they work good with the Corsair cases, but some cases I've built in, like the way the cords have to come out from the side, it like will cause a bunch of pressure where the back panel of the case goes. So just just be mindful of that. But this also has white cords. I know as expensive as this is, cable extensions probably would have looked a little better, but I just wanted you to see what the white cords looked like from Corsair, so that I use those. So yes, Timmy, that commented on my YouTube short, you can complain about it some more. Anyway, moving on. The case is the Frame 4000D. Again, this was another situation, like I was supposed to get the 5000D, which I'm kind of glad I didn't, because the 5000D is way bigger, talking to my friend who got the PC case, the 5000D. So the Frame 4000D is much smaller, which I'm glad about. It is smaller, but you still has the modular features, like you can take off the front panel and do the things. I mean, you have to pay for the extra panels. It doesn't come with extra panels, but you could pay for those if you wanted the front to look different. But it holds 3 fans in the front, a fan in the back, and enough for a 360 millimeter radiator at the top. You just have to be careful when you install the fans to make sure that you do it just right so that the 360 millimeter AIO will fit. It was a tight squeeze for me to get it to fit. I had to like redo the fans a couple times to get it to work, but I eventually did. Speaking of the AIO though, they sent out their 360 millimeter Corsair Titan AIO with the LCD screen. I don't have it actually turned on here, but you can see it here in the B-roll. You can put a GIF on it if you want to. Yes, it's GIF. It's not GIF, it's GIF. You can put a GIF on it if you want, but it comes with some solid fans already attached. It comes with their really nice fans already attached, I think. Can't remember if I switched those fans out or not, but I'm pretty sure it came with those fans already attached. It was kind of weird to plug up the fans, again, because it was such a tight squeeze, but other than that, it was okay. And they're all Corsair IQ Link, which makes the RGB setup a lot easier for this particular kind of PC build. Again, you can go with whatever you want. My only suggestion is if you're gonna go with Corsair fans, these are their 120 Max, I think. They link together magnetically, they're pretty solid. But if you are gonna go with fans like this, get all Corsair, because if you don't, it's a nightmare to get the RGB to sync up. That's why with my RAM, since I couldn't get RGB RAM from Corsair, I just used the Team Group T-Create RAM, because that RAM doesn't have RGB on it, and so I didn't want to have to worry about syncing that. So I think it looks pretty nice, but that's it's totally up to you guys. Overall, I think it's a really nice build. But some other options when it comes to cases, any full ATX case that you want to get is more than capable of doing it. I've tested a lot of different cases on the channel. Fantex is another one that is a little bit cheaper. Lee & Lee, of course, has some really nice cases as well. My biggest tip with this is if you want to go white, it's not that much of a price difference as it used to be, especially with the GPU that I'm about to tell you about. And the GPU was not sent out to me by anybody. I had to pay for the GPU myself. I tried to get someone to send me a GPU, but nonetheless, it didn't happen. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I totally asked. But I bought an Asus Prime GPU because I like for the motherboard and GPU to match, just because I'm weird like that. But Gigabyte also has white GPUs that are not too expensive, so that's another option you could go with. But this is the Asus Prime white version, RX 9070 XT. That's why I said it's the best price to performance GPU that we could have on the market right now. And I absolutely love the performance of the 9070 XT. I don't have the benchmarks for you because my analytics show that you guys don't watch the benchmarks. But if you do want to watch the benchmarks, I'm going to do a full dedicated 9070 XT benchmark video with the 7800X3D. And when it's ready, it'll be right here. But until then, you can go watch this video.